back-to-back sets, more or less, of this intense, fast drumming. How do you cope with that?
They're two different beasts, really. They are. Stalag is one type of a music that's easy to play for me because I've done it so long, and then Dr. No. I was in Dr. No in '88 and '89 when we were doing the crossover thrash metal type music, and still played the original stuff that we're playing now. So for me, it's memorable. I kind of remembered it, but the way we're playing it now it's just a whole different thing. And I tell people, I go, watch, you'll see. I'm playing different. I'm doing more of a halftime on the hats, and just things are faster and very tight. But it for me, it's different. And sometimes when No plays first, then I get into Stalag, I have to remember to bring it down a little tempo-wise because No is just blistering. And vice versa, when we do Stalag first, then I hit No and I have to remember to pick it up because it really is just such a different machine. But it's... everybody was really worried, and I said, 55's over there, but I still skateboard, I still ride bicycles, I still up here feel like, when we first started, and I physically don't feel the age, but what happens is when you get in a room that's really hot, that's when it hurts you. And so
like tonight. Tonight was bad.
I got through it, but that's really probably the worst thing, it's just the heat.
He's a machine. He is the hardest working guy that I know, and you can tell that's a lot of work drumming, and to go back to back sets is just amazing. And
exactly.
I many days in a row,
That's it. When you had such a long tour, I'm watching tonight, knowing that's more or less the end of your tour, and going, how in the hell does he do that? I mean, you are back there. It's like you're fresh as a daisy when you come on for the second set. I'm just blown away.
It's really the love for the music and to watch people. And that's what I feed on. So when people are arms in the air, screaming the lyrics, photos, diving off the stage, that's what fuels me. So I get it from the crowd, the fans, and the band. It's really the energy that moves me along, because if I didn't feel that way, I think it wouldn't be real. And I've had a lot of people on this tour come up and say they've seen other bands play, and they don't feel like they're doing it for the love, they're doing it for the money. And of course we do it because it gets us down the road. But I tell them all, I said, if you watch how much sweat I wring out of my headband at the end of the set, people want to puke, but it's like that's how much we give. The whole band does, And
I did watch that, and it was just
pretty impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't just a little bit. It was
it's
complete.
And so they've given me a tag in the States of a hybrid monster biker / visually arresting centerpiece. So, and everybody, since we've been on tour, they go, "You're just a monster." I'm like, "Yeah, monster hybrid biker, visually arresting centerpiece." That's my whole tag, because a lot of people I don't think have ever seen anybody do what I'm doing. But it's the love. It really is the love.
When we took a break for a while, and we decided to start playing again, and Europe was not even mentioned or thought about yet. The reason we kind of did it was to come back was for the kids. It was that's what it was for us. It's a kind of a trip to be playing, and these kids are singing the lyrics, and they probably weren't even born when we made the CD.
Their parents saw us.
And then the thought of Europe, to come over here finally and to get the response that we've gotten, not from younger people, but people that have been waiting a long time for this to come over, and we're probably just as happy as they are to get back. And I think that's what it's about.
And it's strange for me, being an American, I never got to see you back in the day. So I've been waiting to, because I loved your stuff. And I was so excited when you guys were announced on this bill. And that's part of why we came to this, because you're a band I've wanted to see since I was a teenager, basically.
Yeah. We really appreciate everything how we've been treated here. In a way, for me, this experience, well, it will be with me forever, but it kind of makes me not want to go home and play. It's amazing over here. It's different. I mean, I love it up there and stuff. I've been doing it, majority of my life. But to experience this, Europe has just been amazing, and it's definitely something I want to do again. So hopefully we'll be back soon, and we can set some up and hit some of the countries we didn't get to go through this next time around. So,
that's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And you also feed off the energy because I was watching you playing, and it's like, okay, I'm watching these kids out there, and you just kind of took their energy in and you just gave it back out to them.
And that's what it's all about. You know, sometimes you play and there's not a lot of people, and the energy's not that much up. It'll show it with us because we're definitely into the people. And I was telling John and Ben before we came in here was I enjoy playing these smaller places than I do a huge festival. I like the intimacy of it. I like to feel them to feel me, and that's where it's about.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. I mean, festivals are great. I love them, you know, but the little spaces where they're right up in you, you can feel them, we can feel them, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. I agree with that. As somebody who's in the audience, I much prefer to see a band that I could just reach out and touch if I felt like, and seeing the passion that goes behind the playing, which to me is an important thing. That's why I love the music. And with the passion, are you guys getting any new releases coming up, or?
Well, we right before we came here, we went in the studio and we recorded, I think, 6 songs. And there's a couple new ones on there, some that were never released. And it was kind of a rush little thing to get these made before we got here. So we picked them up the day before we left here. And we brought 100 of them, and that's probably all that will be made of that.
Wow.
And they're only in Europe. And when we go back home, we'll probably sit down and write some more songs and come out with another LP, a full one, and start shopping that around. And another good thing that we just found out that we're going to do, we're starting a European website online Stalag merchandise. It will only be for Europe, so that will be upcoming too. So we'll start pushing that as well for a web.
Do you have a web address for that yet, or is that still in progress?
It's in progress, but it'll all start coming through Facebook, basically, is what we have right now on the Stalag 13 band page.
So look for the Stalag 13 band page so you can get their merch. It is so worth it. And I would like to thank you both very much. Give you both
Thank
a
you.
very well-deserved rest after that incredible performance tonight. So thank you both.
Yes, you got it.
Well, thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
guys.
us, and I appreciate everybody that's waited many, many years, because in Croatia and every place we stopped, somebody always come up and said, "I've been waiting for 40 years," and I went, "You lie." But they have, as yourself. You know, you've waited a long time, and it's really amazing that the Nardcore sound and all the bands, and you know, we're the only ones that have come over so far. No Ill Repute or Aggression, you know, those guys, because it just didn't last that long enough to do. But it's really amazing that we made it over the water and people found it and understood it and identified with it. And even if they weren't skateboarders or surfers or even know about the Nardcore sound, it really is something that the music touched people. And even when I'm playing, there's certain songs that I can identify with that it's the same thing they're feeling, I'm sure. So it's really cool.
And it's all about the passion. That's it.
100%.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Peace, you guys.